Welcome to the Choosing Happiness podcast with me, your host, Rudrani Devi, the Happiness Lady. In these conversations, we will be discussing an uncommon way to find joy in your life with weekly special guests. Did you know you could choose your happy? Won't you come and play and discover how these magical tools could work for you? Let's do this! Well, howdy, y'all. Rudrani Devi, the Happiness Lady, coming to you again with another fabulous episode, if I do say so myself, of the Choosing Happiness podcast. And the crowd goes wild. Hey, y'all. I have a fabulous guest today. You gonna thank me. I promise you. Paula Loza Basaldua.
And here comes the horse lady.
That's right. She's a horse whisperer, y'all. Horse whisperer of magnitude. So we're going to get into all of that for you horse lovers. But first and foremost, Paula, I know people are interested in knowing who the heck you be and all the things. Could you tell us a little bit about you, what you do, stuff? Oh my goddess, here we go, y'all. It's for real.
It's for real. Yeah. Well, I'm an access conscious facilitator. And also in access consciousness, I'm a 3-day body class facilitator and a conscious horse, conscious rider facilitator. But in my life, I play polo. I'm like a therapist for horses also. I'm like the shrink of the horses.
I love it.
They come all to me and they tell me all their problems with their mom and their dads and
I can only imagine.
And their siblings, and I can't play polo with him. I can't play polo with her and all that stuff.
She ate my brain the other day. I'm still pissed.
Yeah.
Something like that. Wow. Well, now you've got my wheels turning. I'm curious because, I don't have any of those specialties. I have completely different specialties, and then I have some that I also created through Access. So how did you find Access? Give us a little backstory on how you got there and then how you became interested in teaching those particular specialties.
Yeah. So, like 9, it's going to be 9 years, 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I was married. I was looking for having a baby, and we're looking for it. And we were not succeeding. And my ex-husband, it's obstetrician and genetist, so he's a doctor. So he test me everything. If he can test my tooth, he would already have tested.
Wow.
Yeah.
How considerate of him.
Yeah. No. So, and it was like, you don't have anything. We're perfectly healthy. I don't know what's going on. And so I get a bar session. And after 20 days, of course, I do also my homework.
Of course.
It was not the Holy Ghost. And 20 days after that, I was pregnant.
Wow. So Access Bars, just to do a little timeout for those of you that might have not watched this podcast before or even know what Access Consciousness is, we're both certified facilitators in this movement called Access Consciousness, which is in 179 countries. And what also brought me into Access was having my bars run, Access Bars. And that's 32 points on the head, different groupings. I liken it to pressure points or acupressure points, that if you touch them in different groupings, it's like a delete button. It gets rid of all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that might be sticking you, keeping you stuck. Here, Paula was stuck. She's trying to have a baby. She probably has all these points of view, sharing them with her now ex, that are keeping her from actually being able to create the child. So she has one bar session, y'all. Bam! 20 days later, the woman is pregnant.
Bam!
It's like that. Well, it kind of is like that. Bam! baby.
Bam, bam, baby counts.
That's right. That right. So please continue s'il vous plaît for my French friends, which
Yeah.
means carry on with some of a biscuit. Okay.
You're having your coffee and having my mate?
I'm actually having water.
Okay.
There's no glass in this hotel. This is not a fancy hotel. I'm in Pigeon Forge, y'all. And so this is the best I could do because I didn't want in front of y'all. So,
Okay, great.
all good.
But
All good.
for those who doesn't know, I'm from Argentina. And in Argentina, we do have mate. It's a thing like tea in herbs, but like with an effect of more like energy stuff than caffeine. So it's like very energetic.
I've had some. It is quite lovely. I love the
Yeah.
taste of it, especially with like almond milk or something.
Yes.
Really
Something
good.
like that. Yeah, really good. So well, the thing is that I got pregnant, so I started like going to classes, then became a bar facilitator, then like quite ahead I just get into being a certified facilitator. And all my life my family had a ranch. So we do like we have a business in the ranch.
Hmm.
So I've been around horses since I was born. So for me, like having in access consciousness a specialty of horses, it was like, hell yes, this is my stuff.
It's
So I
matching me my
always
entire life.
exactly, but it was weird because I studied like human resources. I was working in companies. I was doing like the city girl stuff. Yeah. And somehow, some way, since I was a teenager, I always wanted to combine like human resources and education with being like a chiropractic and also being like a ranch girl. And it was like in these realities, honey, you can't do the
Right.
three things are nothing. They had nothing to do with each other. You had to choose one. So of course I said, okay, I just went to college and get my human resources degree and PhD then. Also, I was specialized in economy and in education. So I was like a company girl,
You're a big
like a
deal.
corporate girl. I was in big telecommunication companies, managing teams and everything like that. I was like, for this reality, it was a corporate girl.
Yeah, you're a big deal. You're showboat. It's all
Exactly. For this reality, it was that. But I mean, it was like I always like um loved to do massage to people, and I always played hockey. So sports for me, it was always very present. I competed in swimming, in softball, in soccer, in hockey.
wow. You're a
Um
sporty girl. She's sporty
yeah,
spice, y'all.
exactly. So a very sport girl, and I always like I run like 5 to 10 kilometers a day every day. So it's my sports were always there for me. And also in the weekends or on every vacation, we had to run our business in the ranch. So somehow, some way, I was connected with all of that. And
Sure.
suddenly in Access, it was like, hey, honey, you can be the three of them at the same time. You can be a body facilitator and you can, I always have talked to bodies because as you are a sport people,
Hmm.
you have to be connected with your body. There are things that happens with your body and the sports that you just need to connect with them.
I
And
agree.
also, it was so funny because I always been around horses, but still I never like really being there for the horses. So also I touch horses' bodies and I really be there and contribute them to like be better sport horses. So it's so
Oh,
funny because
both. like with polo.
Exactly. So, and in polo also, they're like sport coach. So you can train your mind and your like, you can be focused and have your goals done in sports. Well, the same thing happens with horses. They're sport horses. So they have a match. They're nervous. They
Huh.
are like, we want to win. I want to be the best one. I want to get to the ball first. And they're so
Right.
funny, and they're so fucking funny. Like, they're,
Love it.
when you when you see a bunch of guys talking about their, I don't know, the football game. Oh, I was there for the ball. Oh, yes, we were there. Oh, yes, we were a good team. Oh, yes, you passed me the ball, blah, blah, blah. Where the same happens with horses when they are before the match and after the match. It was, oh, yes, we were very good. Oh, yes, have you seen how I just dropped by the ball? Oh, yes, I was very good at that. I run it and I win the.
Wow, you guys, have you ever, it's like a lot of people can relate when you're talking about dogs and cats. You know what I mean? Because I am definitely a puss whisperer. My cat and we communicate like she talks to me, and I will tell her, do you want to go outside with my brain, with an
Exactly.
image? And we've got somebody who wants
I'm
to.
not talking to my dog or my cats.
It's the same thing, though. I give her a picture of it, then I'll go outside, and she runs to the door. Hi, puss. Okay,
Hi,
now
this is Frida. Like
Frida.
Frida Kahlo. It's
Frida.
Frida.
Oh, che bella ragazza. Hi
Yeah.
there, pretty. So now y'all are going to have to go to the YouTube. She is adorable. I love her, the white around her eyes,
Yeah.
her ear.
Yeah.
Hi, pretty girl.
Yeah.
Hi.
And it's
Squirrel.
so funny because every animal, it has like a job. Okay. They're born for something. For example, polo horses are born to play polo. It's not the same as a horse that goes to the race course. That's a different horse. And also here at my family, she came when I was pregnant with my first child.
Okay.
And it was so funny because I'm going to cry, sorry.
No, it's sweet.
We had another cat that's over there. She's like 16. She's 9 as my kid. And the other cat didn't like kids. Now she's okay with kids. But she was like, she hated. So I was really worried because I was telling my ex, we're going to have a kid and the kid will like to cuddle the kitty and the kitty will just like.
Sure.
So I was asking for someone to come and be like my son's cat. So one day I was going to to the clinic in Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, it's like Madrid or Paris. Yes. It's like small streets. It's very European. So I was walking with all my big belly. I was like, I was really knocked up. And
return, folks. You can't return it now. Can't return to sender.
yeah, can't send it back. So I was walking, and in front of the door of the clinic of my ex, there was a guy with a box and 3 kittens. So I went over there, and she was like saying, I want to play with your kid. I want to play with your kid. So I grabbed it and I put it like this in my belly because I was having like a big belly. And he started like, brr, 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 brr.
Oh no. Wow.
And I said, okay, that's my son's kitty.
Right.
And since he was born the first day, I have this most cute video that when we got Dante, it's my eldest son, when Dante came from the hospital and he was in this like chairs from the car, baby chair, and she just went over there and and she say hi. And then when we got our son into the bed, she went over there and she just cuddled like this
Oh,
beside him. And it's like, it's,
I'm sorry you guys are missing because she's making all the little. If you're on, one of the other platforms, Spotify or whatever, you might want to come over to the YouTube because it's really cute. And you get this. I mean, you can lean into the energy of it, but to see Paula, she's like putting her little paws up like a little kitty cat, like over the side of the bed. I mean, I'm just picturing how adorable that
and
truly is.
it was,
Yeah.
there were two babies. It was like so cute. And it was like, okay, yes, yes, Frida, that's your job. Being my
Dr.
son.
Frida.
Yeah, being my son cat.
So even like horses, cats, dogs, they all have a job. I love that you say that. So what's my cat's job, I wonder? 'Cause
Being
she,
foiled. Being foiled.
I tried- I pulled her out of her mother, which is so funny. Her mother was feral. Okay, you want to hear a cat story? I don't know if you
Yes.
guys want to hear that. This is like amazing. So I was married at one time also, and we're in Apalachicola, Florida, and we're at a bed and breakfast. And every morning we're drinking tea on the porch, front porch, and there's this feral cat, and she's pregnant. I mean, gonna bust any minute. The owners aren't there, but the caretaker is, and she says, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. If the owner finds out that she's having kittens under the house again, she's gonna kill me. We're supposed to try to catch that cat and get it fixed or find it a home or whatever." And I'm like, well, it's kind of hard to catch a feral cat. You don't know if they've got any diseases or anything. So this cat was really curious, and I was already playing with energy at that time. I wasn't with Access. I knew about Access. I knew about bars, but I hadn't stepped into it. So I'm playing with the energies, and I'm kind of flowing energy to her to say, you know what, this is a safe place, kitty. You can come and come play or whatever. And so by the third or fourth day, she'd gotten to where she'd gotten all the way to my feet, and I didn't dare put my hand down because I know about that. You'll spook them. So I'm just, like telepathy, just saying you're in a safe place. Oh, you're such a pretty puss. The owner, we don't want the owner to do anything to you. You need to find a home. Can you find a home for you and your babies? So we're like on the last day before or the night before we have to leave. And she wasn't coming around at nighttime, but we're on the porch again. Now we're having wine. I think we was having a glass of wine. And this cat comes and she jumps in my lap. She puts her paws on my shoulders and she starts licking me right here on the forehead. Some people would call that your third eye. And I was like mortified because I thought, I can't move. If I move, I'm going to spook her. And she was just like licking and licking and licking and licking and licking. I was like, that rough part of a kitty cat's tongue? I thought she's
Yeah.
going to drill a hole in my head the way she's licking. And my ex went to get the camera to take a picture. By the time he'd come back, she was gone. And then the woman that was caretaking of the place said, wow, that cat she knows something. And I said, well, I told her she needed to find a home. She goes, I think she needs to be with you. So she brought a cat carrier. We decided we were going to take her. And we were in her truck at the time. And the cat would always be sitting under the side of the truck where I would get in. Well, there she was like clockwork. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to get her into this carrying case. And I opened the case and she walked right in. And we closed it. And the rest is history. She had those babies within 20 minutes of us getting back home. And it was like a 5-hour drive. She didn't eat anything. She purred the entire time of the car ride. And then my cat, the one I communicate with, one of the 6 kittens we kept, her, and we're like thick as thieves, that cat and I. Her mother passed away maybe 3 years ago. But that's a story, man. You know,
They know. They
but
know where to go. They
mhm.
know where they are meant to be.
It was unbelievable. That's when I knew, oh, I must be a cat whisperer or something. But that's when I realized about the energies, because energy is a universal language. I mean, we're in 179 countries, and there's a lot of times where I'll be listening to a podcast, or I'll be listening to people on Instagram or whatever, speaking in another language, and there's no translation for me, but I can perceive the energy of it, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So, oh yeah, so conscious horse, conscious rider. Tell us a little bit more about that class.
So, of course, as you have said, it's like the energy is like it's a language.
Hmm.
So in this class, you can really like learn more than learn. You can access to your knowing of being connected with animals and to really access access how it is to really communicate with animals. I mean, in all the classes, we'll just like we'll just get rid of all the points of view that we have that we can't communicate with animals. I mean, horses has been they had like contributed to the human beings since we were in the caves.
Sure.
So they know how to be in our heads and we know how to be in their heads.
Yeah.
So it's the easiest way to start learning how to communicate with animals is to start with a horse. Because human bodies know how to be in their heads and horses' bodies know how to be in our heads. So
Right.
it's been thousands and thousands of years of doing this communication. So it's a very natural thing. More than cats and dogs. We think that, oh yes, because we live with cats and dogs is like easier. No, it's the easiest way. It's to start with a horse.
Interesting. Yeah, I love horses. Paula, I was 4 years old. My mom tells this story about how she was mortified because she was looking for me, and we lived across the street from a farm. But you have to cross the turnpike is where all the cars are speeding by. And she sees that I've managed to cross the turnpike, crawl under the fence, and I'm underneath, like a six hands horse, or whatever you call it, like a really
Yeah,
big one. And I can
like a
rip
big one.
its belly, and I'm petting its belly. I'm standing under the horse, petting its belly. And she was afraid to cross the turnpike because of the cars and all that. She was like, how in the world did my child? And so at a very, very, very early age, because I was just in love with horses, I was horseback riding. I had to make a deal and deliver. One of my older siblings had to walk me across the street, and we got to know the people that were keeping their horses there, because it was a farm, but they also had a way to keep the horses for other people that didn't have farms, whatever. I don't know what you call that, but anyway, I ended up taking horseback riding lessons. I was riding a horse by age of 6. And I know what you mean. I mean, I had a paper route and I'd save all my money just to take horseback riding lessons and to ride horses. And I was very sad when they got rid of that farm. It was
Yeah.
I think it was
And
senior
also
year.
it happens. And also, there's a chemotherapy. And that's the reason why it is that. Also,
Mhm.
it's because it's like human bodies are like meant to be in their horseback. And it's like a very natural way how it moves the body of the horse that would balance your body. So also, for example, for people that are injured or are having like disabilities or like having issues with their bodies,
Mhm.
when you get into a horseback, everything starts to change and melt because horses' body are also made to contribute human bodies.
So it's a healing.
It's a healing. It's a
Yeah.
healing.
You're willing to actually be in communion, because a lot of people are afraid of horses. I mean, they outweigh us. They can kick you off. I've been thrown off by a horse. I don't remember what country I was
Me
in.
too. Don't
So
don't you think that because I ride a horse every day, I was kicked off lots of times.
I remember one time I was on a horse. I think I was 8 years old, and it reared up and kicked the owner in the stomach. Oh, it was awful. And so I had to run across the street, tell my mom she was teaching piano lessons. And I think one of the parents of the student that was there went with me to take her to the hospital. broke a rib, broke the owner's rib. But I managed to stay on the horse when it happened. I got off. I don't know. I don't know why the horse. I guess the horse didn't like its owner. I don't know what happened. I wasn't really.
As people, you don't have like every day it's a happy day. You have like cranky days, and you have like sad days, and you have like crazy days or whatever. So the horses also have that.
Sure, sure. Wow. So if someone was going to take a conscious horse, conscious rider class with you, as I plan on doing when the weather is nice again in Tennessee, and it's so pretty in the spring. So I'm guessing like late spring when it's not too cold, you'll be able to
Okay.
tell people before the summer kicks in and roasts our asses. Um, we have all 4 seasons in the South, y'all, in the South of Tennessee, United States. Just saying. Um, so I get to wear my fur coats too. Anyway, I digress. What could people expect? What can I expect? I signed up for
Okay.
this class. What happens?
Okay. Maybe you're like you maybe like one of those who are scared of horses. This will be like a great class to be into, because when you have fear of something, sometimes it's not fear, it's just a potency.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, you can be really scared of it, and behind that scare, it is a potency that you might just know that you haven't acknowledged yet. So if you're scared of horses, this is a very good class to come in and to access to your leadership side that
Mm.
might be hidden behind that scare.
Oh my God, I love this. It's almost like I know Gary says this a lot. If there's something that you're fearful of, probably need to go investigate that. And this is so much like a class I facilitate called Right Voice for You, where people are scared of
Of
public speaking.
saying things or showing themselves, and it's like, and it's the same with the horse. It's like, if you're really scared to show yourself and to sing, there might be because you have something to say. And if you're scared of a horse, it might be because the horse has something that can gives you access that you had never ever imagined that you can access.
Right. So if you're willing to actually run into what you perceive as fear, when it might just be this potency or joy, even. Because I know
Or
for me, I get excited before I perform. And a lot of people misidentify and misapply the excitement as fear because they're taught that it's that energy. Like Gary tells
exactly.
a story where he was going to go on a Ferris wheel, I think. And his mother, and he's like he's jumping up and down. And his mom's like, "Oh, honey, don't be frightened." And he was like, "That's what this energy is." So for his whole life, anytime he got excited, he thought something bad was going to happen. So, all of a sudden he hits puberty and he's with girls for the first time. And that excitement comes and he's like, oh shit, something bad's going to happen because he misidentified, misapplied that energy. And
Exactly.
you guys think back to a time when someone stopped you, you were excited and they were like, oh no, you don't. And then you're like, you contract. And so forever in your life, you've been fearful of things that could have actually been contributions to you. I remember, I don't know if you've seen this, Paula, but I saw a video where this woman is on a horse. She is petrified. And Gary is, talking to her and the horse. And I believe Dr. Dane, helped her get up on one side and there's another guy on the other side and they're walking with her with the horse. And you see the moment when she finally melts because a horse is cool. Horse is surrounded by others that know that the horse is facilitating this lady.
Yeah.
And she
Because
finally gets that. Yeah.
exactly, because what happens in a horse class, that most part of the facilitations are done by the horses.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And also, you know that it's like when you melt with a horse, you just stop judging yourself.
Yeah.
So also, if you're a person that it's very, very, very like judgmental with yourself and you just punish yourself and you're always thinking, how can I do this better? Why I do this so wrong? And you're like always being so mean to yourself.
Mm. Yeah, none of us do
Being
that.
in this class will access you to that space where you don't judge yourself.
Yeah, you guys, what if you weren't wrong?
Exactly.
What if nothing was a judgeable offense?
Exactly. And also the horse, it's very, 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 very like willing, it's very willing to show you who you are. Because the horse has no judgment of you, so he can show you the beauty of you.
I'm just melting into every word you're saying.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. As you're talking, because I said, like I said, I'm in a hotel in the Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, right? There's horses everywhere here. And this is my view. I don't know if you can see this painting of horses.
Oh, shit.
Am I doing this right? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
They're all just grazing. They're all just chilling, you know? And I'm like, we're talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Whoever painted that really captured their energy. So I keep
And
looking up and going, and it's a fall picture too, which is where we are now. The leaves are just starting to turn.
exactly. And
So
this of being chilled, horses can be so relaxed and also they can achieve everything. So also they give you that space. How about in your life, you can just ride any project, anything in your life, like the great, great rider of
mhm.
your life. So this class also, it's about leadership, about writing your life and your stuffs, everything in your life, so chilled, but also so focused and knowing where you're going. It gives you like this presence also with
Right.
you, with your body. Because when you're riding a horse, you can't be thinking about, oh, I have to go to the supermarket tomorrow. No, you had to be there.
You're so in my head.
Yeah.
But I will say this, when I'm writing, there isn't the space for all that mind chatter. You're
Yes.
so connected to the nature and to the horse and to the pace because you have this rhythm that happens for both of you. And I mean, I must have known at a very early age because I mean, anytime I had I mean, I'm dating myself, but I remember I had a paper route where I made like $1.50 a day to deliver newspapers, and it would cost me 75 cents to go on a horseback ride. And a lot of times I would use that whole $1.50 because I would ride out, come back, and then I would wait for them to saddle up the horses again. And I'd go out with the next group. My dad was like, "You're spending all your money." And I went, this is my love. This is what I love to do. So that's so cool. That's so cool. Do you have some classes coming up?
Yeah, I will have 18 and 19 of November in Paraguay,
Oh, that's
Asunción.
coming up quickly, y'all. So if you want to hop on that bandwagon, you better get started.
Yeah, you can take a plane. It's South America and it's really close.
Sure. Up and down.
Up
And,
and down.
and we'll have the links also. So that one's coming up really quickly. And I know you've
Yeah.
got another one.
But I have another one in Taipei. There will be longer flight, but still, it's in January. It's 5 and 6 of January.
Very cool. I will be in Mexico during that time. Will I? No. February, you said, or January? January?
January.
I'll be in the Netherlands teaching a right voice view class of first, second, and third. Maybe I'll jet over to Taipei. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to talk to my travel agent. What else is truly possible?
Yeah,
That's so
and
cool.
then in the end of February, just after a class here with you in Argentina.
Woo! Yes.
I have another horse class also here in Argentina by the
Wow.
end of February. But first, in the mountains, we're going to have Right Voice for you here in Argentina.
Yes. So y'all, as you know, Paula has her specialty with Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, and you're also a 3-day body class facilitator as
Yes,
well.
I'm also a 3-day body class facilitator.
So cool. I had started on that trek and then got derailed because I decided I had to be a Right Voice for You facilitator. And I'm also a relationship done different facilitator. And as I said, we have separate things and we support each other. So I'm going to host her. She's going to host me. But what I love so much is the comparison. This is what's so funny about Access classes. These tools work no matter what class you insert it into. And what I also love about Right Voice and Relationship Done Different is no prerequisites. There's nothing you have to have had in Access prior.
Exactly. 3D body class, you need like lots of prereqs, but for a conscious horse, no, there's no prereq.
Zero. So if you just love horses, and maybe that's the introduction for other things in Access, if it speaks to you, but it's not required. So that's the part I love about it. But like I was saying earlier, these tools, I mean, no matter what class you're taking, it's interesting to see how the tools work with whatever the concept or whatever it is of the class. Because the thing that I love about Right Voice for You is watching people being willing to be that vulnerability, because it's a safe place to check it out. It's like with the horses. The horses don't have a judge, they're non-judgmental towards you. I mean, they're going to pick up on your judgments of yourself. How many times do we do that? But they don't have a point of view about it. Consciousness doesn't have a point of view, right? So the cool part about Right Voice for You is about the relationship that you cultivate with yourself. I mean, a lot of times we don't make ourselves a valuable product, or we put ourselves last. And what if, this is what I love about this class, what if you were willing to actually put yourself first? A lot of people don't think that they deserve it, or it's my job to be a mom first, or a great spouse first, or all
they're
these.
Selfish and you'll be like a bad person and awful person because you put yourself first.
You
mean.
You selfish, mean bitch. How can you do that? But for me, I notice that when I actually take care of me first, I schedule in my workouts. I schedule in my meditative walks. I walk almost every morning for an hour to connect with nature. Or, if it's raining or whatever, I'm connecting with the TV and throwing algorithms at it. That's a whole nother podcast, y'all. So I won't get into that one. But I'm willing to have that connection with my body first and honor me first. And then as the day is waking up, I am available for those that are wanting to come play.
Yeah.
And Right Voice for You is that class where you finally get to acknowledge you without an apology. Maybe you don't feel like you can speak up in your family, or you're not being received. Maybe you feel that way, with your workmates. Who knows what it is? It doesn't matter what it is. This class gives you very practical tools, just like in any of these classes, that work for you. And to me, this is my way of putting it. If you've ever taken a Being You class, which is a class that Dr. Dane created, it's like a Being You class on steroids, because Being You is showing you that being you can be a contribution to the world and everyone around you. Right Voice is you actually being willing to embody that and step into that. So I can't wait. I can't wait to work with your peeps.
Yeah. And we're going to have the class in the mountains. It's in a city called Mendoza. And it's a wine city also.
Oh, beautiful.
So we're going to have lots of wine.
Right wine for you.
Right wine for you.
Karaoke. Right song for you.
And
I don't
also,
know.
we have like one of the friends of mine that's over there has a bar.
Hmm.
So we are already setting everything to have karaoke at night. So it's going to be like wine, karaoke, mountains. It's like a perfect plan.
Absolutely. It's funny because, Paula, I'm a singer-songwriter. A lot of you that follow me know that. I was in an all-girl rock band in the 80s. Now I'm dating myself again, called the Paper Dolls, lead singer. And I sing now in several other bands. I have my own band and I contribute to other bands as a percussionist and a singer. And so a lot of people initially were taking this class from me because they wanted to improve their singing, which you can also take that class for that reason. And when I say improve, that's what we mean by right voice. It's the right voice to improve upon you stepping into you with your voice. A lot of times it's just a little minor energetic adjustment that will create that. So I've had classes where it's just singers or people that want to be public speakers. I don't have that thing that makes me scared to talk to people or to sing in front of, a crowd of people. In fact, that's that part again where I tell you I get excited. I'm not scared. You don't have to ask me to sing once, and I will just break out into song no matter where I be. All the things. So if it's that for you as well, that's why we have that karaoke aspect. Because I love, we have to do this class in person. I love doing a little retreat. We'll go to your friend's bar, and then for those of you that are wanting to improve upon your right voice for you singing, this is a wonderful opportunity. And we'll kind of have the place to ourselves anyway. So how does it get any better? All
Yeah.
right. Wow. We'll have all the deets for you. We'll have all the links underneath where you can click upon them, make it very easy peasy lemon squeezy for you. Right.
Yes.
So this has been a wonderful conversation. I must ask you though, Paola, it is called the Choosing Happiness podcast. Normally I pick up my little yellow book. I did not bring it with me to the mountains. I pick it up and I go, oh my goodness, look. I love my producer. You guys really need to jump over to YouTube. All the fireworks was going off behind me. It's fabulous. Much better than
Firework.
oh yeah, yeah. So because it is the Choosing Happiness the podcast, Paula, my listeners must know, how does one like you get your happy on?
Woo-hoo. Riding a horse and play polo. It's like, for me, it's like, oh,
More joy than you. I'm leaning into the energy of that. It's very palatable, y'all.
yeah, because also it combines like everything, not judging yourself, being happy, being also so excited because I love winning. So also I want, I love like doing goals and also
That's so
winning.
funny. I love winning. That's like me when I say, I love money. People are like, what is wrong with you?
I'm so sorry. I like being a champion.
Boy.
I love being a champion.
Yeah.
And
You're
also
so
there are
good.
lots of hot men at pole matches.
Oh my goodness. Maybe you do need to give me a polo lesson.
Yep.
I don't know, because they're very sporty. I bet they could keep up with this. I bet they could.
It combines lots of things.
Oh, Gerba. I might have to go to Taipei. I don't know. We'll see. All the things. So, all right. Well, we could yakety yak forever, but I'm going to cut her loose. You might have to come back and be a repeat offender, though. We'll come back and do another podcast when we get closer to the Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider in Tennessee. And yeah. So if you guys have enjoyed this conversation, please hit the subscribe button. And if you know someone that this conversation could be a contribution, or you know someone that might enjoy taking these classes, Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider, right voice for you, maybe it's speaking to you.
Yep.
Who knows? Could be about you. That's right. Then share with all the people. And thank you so much if you've listened all the way this far.
Yeah.
We
You'll
never
have
know.
the energy of my polo match. So
There you go. You never know where it's going to go, but I'm delighted. Thank you so much for being my guest.
No,
I
thanks
hope,
to you for the invitation. I really enjoy your
yeah,
company. So it's like,
me too. We played a lot when we was in, we just did CF training. That's right. So
yeah,
we was in the pool a lot, y'all.
yeah,
We were in Puerto Vallarta. I just like saying Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta.
Like, it's very sexy. I just like rolling my R's. So, all right, Danielle, come play with us. Come play with us. We'll have all the
Yeah.
deets below. And until next time, y'all, ciao, ciao for now. Thank you so much for choosing happiness. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, share, and give us a like. And if you want more happy, subscribe to the Choosing Happiness membership where you can play directly with me, Rudrani Devi, the happiness lady. How does it get any better than that?